This video review, we're going to take a look at G.I. Joe Classified Series Python Patrol Cobra Viper. So right out of packaging, let's call out the accessories that is included with this figure. So we have the backpack, goggles, the rifle, sidearm, and the rifle magazine. So before I show the individual accessories that is included with this figure, well, of course, you could also take a look at it when you pick it up at your local Target. But basically, let us take a look at it with all of the accessories on. So let's do a quick 360 of the figure. I had the retro version of this action figure, and also during that time this was the least favorite Viper color combination. Well, of course, I also understand and know the history behind the Python Patrol suit. So it's supposed to be infrared and radar resistant, including the Cobra vehicles of the Python Patrol, but they're not visual resistant because of the colors that are on the figure. So let's take a look at the accessories that are included with this set. Of course, the weapons that comes with this action figure has been issued to your blue and black Viper. So nothing really new, but it's just nice to take a look once again at the accessories that are included with it. Of course, this comes with a detachable magazine, and that is one really thick magazine. And if you detach the magazine, this reminds me of a Starship Trooper Morita rifle. If you just get rid of this vertical foregrip and imagine that you have a carry handle on top and the mag would be placed on this side, really looks like your Morita rifle. So next accessory that we have is going to be the holster and the pistol. So really nothing new with this piece. This has been issued, reissued, and used with majority of the G.I. Joe Classified Series action figures that we have. And the last piece that is really nice in this set is this backpack. So this is the details, nicely painted Cobra logo and nicely painted canisters. I really don't know whether those are grenades or they are just for the gimmick of the Python Patrol suit, so they would remain radar and infrared resistant. So I really don't know, but with regards to the canisters or those grenades or whatever they may be, they are nicely painted. So with the rope that is attached to the side of the bag, and those, we still have texture on the bag, and this bag really sits nicely on the back of the figure. Really nice and flush. And the last accessory that we have would be the goggles. So the only accessory that this Viper does not include would be the scarf, which the blue and the black version did. But for the goggles, of course, if you're going to let that goggle sit just on top of the forehead, it's going to fall off. So don't be a sissy, drive that strap to the back of the helmet this way, and it won't fall off, and it's going to be there forever and ever, amen. But of course, really depends on the collector whether you're going to use that visor or not, because it just doesn't make sense that you already have a full face visor and you still have a secondary goggles for protection. So really depends on the collector, but for me personally, I would just like to have this piece of equipment on the helmet because it reminds me of the Viper that I had in the 80s. Once you take out the handsets from this action figure, no need of hitting, just pop out or pull out the handsets. then you could take out also the forearm guards if you consider this as a separate accessory. But once you pull out the forearm guards, as you could see, the forearms are not so painted to the flesh tone that's supposed to be on the forearm. So we have still gray areas that is supposed to be painted in flesh tone. So let's check out the things that you would really need to QC or quality control this action figure for when you finally decide to purchase this. So of course it's going to take time taking a look at this action figure and finally making a decision for purchase, because these yellow items on this action figure is really going to assault you visually. So this is actually the 26th figure that I checked, and this is so far the best painted one that I could find, especially on these parts, on the parts of the helmet also. But those yellow streaks, I would be painting that black, also the yellow parts on this jawline of the helmet. I also would be painting that black. So let's check out the belt. This is also the most problematic yellow area that you have to take a look at, because some areas would have just really sloppy paint work, but this is the best that I could find. And the next and the final items would be the yellow parts on the legs. So on the upper thigh, the inner thigh. So you just have to check out this area the best as you could when you take a look at this action figure. So just a little bit of fix to the jaundice that this figure is experiencing, or the yellowness. So a little bit of black paint to dampen out the yellowness. So let's start with the head. So for the sideburns on this area, just a little bit of 70% isopropyl alcohol would do. And as for the side vents, just paint it black. And for the shoulder straps, just paint some of the areas black and add a little bit of panel lining. And for the belt, just add a little bit of paint, especially on the buckle. And for the padding on the pant area, just use your Gundam marker once again to panel line those areas. And as for weapons, instead of having a thigh holster, I opted out for a chest rig like this. So the pistol now is loaded this way from the vest of the figure. Okay, for the main rifle that comes with this figure, I modded it a little bit. So I cut off the vertical foregrip, the very fancy looking vertical foregrip. Added a charging handle because this rifle does not include a charging handle, and since we have a main sight mounted, I added a reflex sight on a canted mount. So we have magnified and non-magnified. And I still have another option for this Viper by using this Action Force Valaverse CZ Scorpion Evo 3 9mm carbine. So it's a choice whether this one or this one, but judging from the 9mm magazine on this Evo 3 and looking at the mag pouches on the belt, so I think that the mags would fit on these belt pouches. So really fine rifle too. This 9mm PCC was able to shoot the real thing last week, sample it, and I really like this carbine. So shoots like a 22 LR because of the extended configuration in PCC. I also added a scope on this PCC, so just to mimic the other rifle that this figure came with. So this is how the figure looks with his new weapon and a little bit of paint on the yellow parts of the figure. So let's do a quick 360. So just a simple modification to this Viper, which is readily available at your local Target. So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next custom action figure review.